Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the Random Grid Replica Championship on Project Cars 2. This is round 5, race 4 at Imola in the touring cars, and we're getting ready for a start. Neil gets pole position after his win last time, so he gets the random draw of pole position, so good for him. Andrea second, Growley third, Stevie fourth. As we get ready for a start to this race, waiting for the lights to go out. There they go, we're off. As everyone gets a good start. Growley there gets a poor start though, he goes backwards. Bidzster trying to go somewhere. The BMWs get a good start from the back, trying to make their way through the field as we go down towards Tamburello. Neil Farmack in the lead from Andrea, going side by side. Everyone else, Constantine up in the middle, just about making it through. Look at this pack in the middle, amazing stuff. Meanwhile it's Neil from Andrea and Stevie, then everyone else trying to be fourth as Stacker goes round into fourth. And then we've got Growley with Bidzster behind him somewhere as we go into this. Look at them all side by side, everyone, all 6 cars side by side through here as we go down to Tozer, Neil, Andrea, and then Stacker and Growley are off again. Stacker and Growley contact again for the second time. Bidzster goes round with Callum there, so Spapper up the hill, so we'll get a replay on that action after the first lap, but we'll go up the hill, still watching Callum and Bidzster side by side up to the top. These two have titanic battles on GT Sport, and it's good to see them battling on Project Cars. As Spapper loses time there, Blakeney goes alongside Bidzster behind Callum. Then we've got Spapper, Blake's in there, TY as well. Wow, amazing up the hill. Blakeney goes sideways, TY hits him. Keith, just about avoids the incident there. So that'll be another one we get a replay on just after this first lap as well. So Neil into the chicane first, Andrea, Stevie, and then everyone else. Oh, we've got Spapper over the chicane and then hitting Callum, and Callum getting hit by Bidzster, I think. So again, more chaos adding to this first lap drama. Down to the bottom of the hill then. Neil, Andrea, Stevie is the order. And then we've got Bidzster and Callum, and then Spapper as well, all together as well into the bottom corner. Callum from Bidzster from Spapper. Then we've got TY back in 7th, Growley 8th after that incident with Stacker earlier. And there's TY goes wide, Growley closes up, Blakeney does as well, Keith and Stacker at the back. So we'll just get those first lap replays in for you now. Okay, here's a replay what happened between Growley and Stacker on board with Bidzster. So Stacker's on the BMW and Growley in the Opel. So watch here, Growley's on that right hand side, Stacker moves across and across and across, hits him, and then we both go off into the wall. So Stacker definitely moved across there and caused that incident. Okay, here's a replay of something else that happened on the first lap before we look at the TY Blake incident. So going down here, this was just in front of them. Callum brakes sideways and hits the grass, fully 45 degrees sideways, and plants the throttle and recovers it. What a save! And now here's what happened between TY and Blake. So going into the corner here, watch Blake as he goes into the braking, brakes on the curb on the grass, and then TY's nowhere to go. Keith, whoa! Just about avoids the incident. Growley's come up to this as well, and then sees a gap in the middle and thinks, there we go, send myself through. And then Stacker comes up, and then by that time it's gone. And now we go on board with Bidzster again, just after we watch Callum go sideways. There's Spapper on the right as we go into the braking zone. Spapper goes to the inside of Callum, can't quite get the car stopped over the curb, bang, bang, bang. And then Callum's up on 2 wheels. That's what caused that bit of mayhem, and then Spapper has to slow down for a penalty. And now here's something else that we didn't see on board with Blakeney. So into the chicane on the first lap. Keith goes round, obviously really slow, she's got a penalty trying to get out of the way, but Growley tries to avoid. TY says thank you very much, and Blakeney says thank you as well, and takes some position. So down at the end of the straight then, Neil Farmack being challenged by Andrea and Stevie, but still no changes there. Into the first corner, so Callum, Bidzster and Spapper very close as well. Spapper's got this top end in that Renault, but can't do anything about it, and he goes wide, and Bidzster makes a mistake as well, so Spapper follows Bidzster off there. And then as we watch TY, Blakeney and Growley into the first corner as well. Growley gets a good run on Blakeney here, trying to go around the outside of him, squeeze, goes Blakeney, and then contact between the two again. Growley's lost the car, and Keith gets hit. Oh wow, again another major incident, so we'll have to get a replay on that as well. Okay, here's on board with Keith to look at the Blakeney-Growley incident. So Blakeney dives at the inside of Growley here, dives past, missed his braking point. Growley tries to go back around the outside with the momentum. Blakeney gives him a bit of a squeeze. Growley's up the inside, and 2 cars into one just will not work around there. Growley loses control, can't quite hold the car. Then Keith, wrong place, wrong time, and Stacker says, cheers boys, thanks for that. So as we come back from yet more drama, we've got Neil Farmack going up the hill, Andrea from Stevie all still close. Neil not having a much harder time of it this race because he's got Andrea all over the back of him, who's very sideways. That could open the door for Stevie, but he's not close enough. Down to the bottom, through down to the bottom, and then up the hills. We look back at Bidzster and Callum. Here comes Callum through, up to go up the hill, and nicely done there by Callum. Bidzster follows him. There's Spapper, all a bit more spread out now because of those few incidents, but still the top three very close. Neil, Andrea, Stevie. Stevie's right behind Andrea, practically pushed him out that last corner, out of the chicane. And Neil Farmack must have got a penalty because he's had to slow up. Neil Farmack gets a penalty, he's had to slow right up, and Andrea goes through, but Stevie can't quite do it, gives him a nudge under brakes. Oh wow, close stuff as Bidzster and TY and Callum, all very close. Bidzster and Callum, I think they've had it coming together there, so we'll get a replay on that as well. Okay, here's a replay of what happened between Bidzster and Callum. So you see Callum slowing down here because of a penalty. So Bidzster thinks, well, I'll stick to the outside, but then misses his braking point and then hits Callum a bit, and then Callum goes off. And then Bidzster kindly waits for Callum to rejoin because obviously he hit him in the back, felt guilty, and he waits for Callum to rejoin. There he is, rejoining. TY goes through, and that's how Bidzster and Callum went that far back. Endless replays in this as we come back from another one. So we're going back to the leaders then. Andrea in the lead from Neil, Stevie. So all three still very close there. Will Neil have a go at Andrea into Tamburello? Let's have a look. Into Tamburello. He does, he's up the inside, he's braking very, very late and doesn't get the car stopped. Andrea says, thank you very much, I'll take that place back. Stevie says, wait there, I'm not done with you yet, as Neil defends out the corner. There's Spapper in fourth from TY. Let's have a little look back at Stevie and Neil. So Neil's still ahead of Stevie here into the next few corners. Stevie pushing hard, trying to close up, but still can't quite do it yet. There's Callum and Bidzster. Oh, Callum makes a mistake out of that corner, I think. And yeah, he's got a track limit penalty because he's slowing right up there, so unlucky for Callum, gets a penalty. Bidzster goes through, followed by Blake. Keith, meanwhile, further back with Stacker and Growley, so they're all having a nice little battle at the back, hopefully a bit cleaner than the past few incidents have been. So, Stacker still under investigation for that incident with Growley, but so we'll see how that turns out. There's Andrea then in the lead of what would be his home ground, his home, I was going to say Grand Prix then, his home race, because they are in Imola, and Andrea is a Italian guy, and so is Spapper, so the two Italians first and fourth on their home ground. So Andrea will want to win this one for his own little mini Tifosi. Neil Farmack closes in on him, going down the hill, still not quite close enough to make a move yet, but you never know. Could be a dive pending here as we go down to the last corner. No, still both cars in order. As Blakeney there is behind Bidzster with Callum approaching the back of him there. As Bidzster's now closing on TY. So Bidzster trying to close up on TY here. As back to the lead as we go, which is probably the best battle on track at the minute. So Andrea pulling away. Neil Farmack must have had a penalty there. Neil Farmack's gone backwards. Stevie goes into second. So Neil Farmack having to slow down because of a penalty. So track limits being another sort of result of people changing positions as Stevie gets a good run through there as Andrea makes a mistake. Stevie and Andrea then challenging each other. Stevie moves out to make a move on the inside. He's on the inside. Stevie and Andrea, two of the more aggressive drivers in LPB racing, and they're both going at it. Stevie gets the position though. Good move there by Stevie. No, good move there into the lead. So Stevie either tends to be quite aggressive with his moves and not clean, or some of them are actually very spectacular. So good spectacular move there by Stevie. Nice and clean. Meanwhile, there's Bidzster sliding his Mercedes round in 6th place. Still leading the championship, but obviously the marginal have come down a bit in this one slightly, but we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. Not over yet, as Spapper and TY still are quite closing up on each other now, so Spapper going back into the hands of TY here. So TY definitely on the pace in that BMW now. As Andrea and Stevie then very close as they come towards the really tight chicane at the top. Andrea looks for the inside, can't quite do it. Stevie has to defend, but goes very wide over the sausage curbs. Then Andrea will close right up. I won't be surprised if Stevie has a little penalty here. But we'll see how things go. Down the bottom of the hill. Then onto the brakes, Stevie defends as well, so Keto goes wide though, but I think Andrea went a bit wide as well, so that's not helped Neil out because he can't quite capitalise on any ground made up, as we've got Spapper and TY into the bottom corner now. Again, they're quite close. Spapper a bit twitchy out the corner there, but gets away with it. There goes TY through as well. Onto the front straight, which is where the BMW will have quite a lot of top speed compared to the Renault. As we look to the leaders, then Stevie up on the inside of Andrea, still battling at it. Neil still waiting in the wings for anything to happen, but nothing yet, as all three go in a line down to the next corner. Meanwhile, Spapper and TY, still Spapper from TY into the first chicane. No change there, as Stevie's still in the lead from Andrea and Neil. And then I think Neil was having a little go at Andrea there as the camera goes funny. Neil goes off the track, so Neil makes a mistake there and falls a bit further back, so Andrea can breathe a little. As we've got Blakeney and Callum there, they're quite close. As Bidzster goes on two wheels, I think he's just about held on to that. But Spapper and TY, Spapper must have had a penalty there. Goes wide, lets TY go through, must have had to give up the position. And yeah, he's still having to slow down at the hill because it won't disappear, so that could put him back into the hands of Bidzster. As Bidzster comes up the hill with a good overspeed here, so Spapper's just about getting back up to speed again. So yeah, the penalties pop up on your screen, and you have to slow down, and you've got about sort of 10 to 15 seconds to slow down. And if you don't slow down, then it'll give you a penalty. It could be 1, 2, 3 seconds, whatever. It depends on how severe your corner cut was, but it does give you a chance to slow down for that 1 or 2 seconds and get rid of it. As we look at Andrea and Stevie, cars off. I thought I saw a change at the top, and Neil goes through, so major incident there. So we'll get a replay. Okay, here's the incident between Stevie and Andrea. So it all starts down at the bottom. Stevie makes a mistake, goes really sideways, and fantastic hold there. Then side by side up the hill, bang, 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 contact. Andrea gives him no room to get back on the track. And then down towards the next corner. This is where it all goes bananas. Down to the next corner. Andrea goes over the curb and goes a bit wide. Stevie tries to take advantage. Contact, contact, contact. Both cars magnetised, and then nothing can be done. Andrea comes across on Stevie, and Stevie goes into Andrea, and then they both spin each other around, and Neil says, "Cheers, boys." So as we come back from that, then Neil inherits the lead. Andrea and Stevie back down as second and third after that tangle. TY in fourth place, still 9 seconds behind those lots, so still a big gap. As we look at Spapper, then he's still ahead of Bidzster, but Bidzster right behind him now, waiting to make a move. Spapper goes a bit wide there. That could be another track limits. As Blakeney and Callum go out the corner. As Bidzster now in the draft of the Renault Megane. Look at the speed of the Merc in the draft. Very close behind Spapper here, moves out to overtake him onto the inside. Is he going to get through before the corner? The Mercedes with the overspeed over the Megane, amazing stuff, but on the brakes Spapper doesn't give up, but Bidzster takes the place. Good move there by Bidzster, good setup in the draft. Spapper thought, I'll not have to defend because I'll have the top speed, but no, not in the draft. The Mercedes was good in the draft there on the top speed and gets the place. Meanwhile, Growley and Stacker at the back still having a nice battle between themselves, 10th and 11th places respectively. As Neil Farmack now must have had a penalty of some sort, he's had to slow down. Andrea closes right up on him, looks to the inside, snap, move, bang, hits him sideways. Neil holds on to it, but Andrea very ambitious there, and look who that's helped out. It's Stevie, he's back, looking to try and get past into second, but Neil Farmack will be a bit rattled by that, and I think you can tell because he's made a few little errors there. So Andrea being a bit desperate there, making a move, but very aggressive driving, and it's probably over aggressive really. Needs to calm it down a bit and sort of chill out, but can't always, if you see a gap, you can't always go for the move, so you've got to set it up so that you know that when you get in there you can more or less get through. You can't just rely on the other person trying to just expect you to be there. You've got to really plan these moves. And yes, it's all good sometimes to have a little dart up the inside, but you've got to make sure that if you're going to dart up the inside, that your car will pass the other car before the corner, just so that it doesn't cause an incident with cars constantly up. As Stevie takes second place from Andrea there, as Andrea makes a little mistake out the corner. As Bidzster there in 5th place, he's trying to make amends. He's got past Spapper, so Spapper back down to 6th. Callum 7th, Blakeney 8th. still a decent, and still Growley in 11th, Stacker, Growley 10th, Stacker in 11th. Keith having a lonely race in this one in 9th place. But the leader's still quite close as Neil. Oh, we've got a car off. Andrea's gone off. Andrea's gone off at Tamburello. Must have been an identical to what he did in the other race. So he's taking his time on rejoining, being very careful as TY comes up to him. So we'll get a quick replay on that. Okay, here's on board with Andrea on lap 7. See what happens to him. So he goes out this corner, goes too wide, hits the grass, and then just goes right round. Has to sort of get back on the throttle to bring it right round. Just avoids the wall, finds a nice little convenient bit of tarmac, and then nicely rejoins the track. As we come back from that then, Andrea over the curbs, TY closes up, so TY's now got a sniff at a podium, and I would imagine if TY can get it, he will. As we go round Tozer, up the hill, the BMW gets a good run, gets the power on. So will he be able to get the move done up the hill? Stevie's quite close to Neil, but not quite close enough to make a move yet. As we go up to the top, TY looks to the inside, but not going to be a way through there. As Andrea goes wide and off the track, that'll be a track limits penalty, and TY hits him, but again that was TY's got to take his line around the corner, and you can't just brake mid-corner, and because you'll lose the back end of the car. So Andrea very fair there, just lets him go with the contact as he closes up to TY out the corner. As we go up the hill, and Stevie and Neil having a good little battle here for the lead. Neil's still not being left alone in this race. He's having to really work for this one as TY and Andrea come into the chicane. The BMW hopping the curbs, very brave stuff in the rear drive BMW there from TY. There's Blake and Spapper, so Spapper's gone backwards here as he hits back of Blakeney a bit, I think, but he loses it in the chicane himself, so Spapper's gone backwards. So Spapper having an awful last quarter of this race as Callum goes down the hill, followed by Blake. So Neil and Stevie then on to the last lap of the race. Stevie in the draft, trying to close up to Neil, but I don't think he's going to be close enough by the first corner as TY and Andrea come down the straight, but the BMW will pull away from McGann on the straight. You see the gap opening up. So Neil Farmack into the Tamburello chicane for the last time in this race. Through the chicane we go. Both cars with the identical lines through there, nice and clean. Down towards Villeneuve. Down towards the Villeneuve. Corners, Blakeney, look at this, Blakeney, Callum, and Spapper and Callum hit each other and they're going to go off, and Blakeney's there, and Blakeney goes off the track in avoidance, but yeah, definite contact there between a few cars, so I don't know quite how that started, but we'll get a replay on that. Okay, here's a replay of the instant lap on the last lap then, so going into the first corner, Spapper's alongside Callum here, he sees a gap, trying to go across for the gap behind Blakeney, but then forgets that Callum's there, then contact with the other cars, and then gets his foot on the throttle, rejoins, and then rejoins in 7th place, but he should really let Callum through for that. As we come back from that one then, TY's ahead of Andrea, so TY obviously ahead of Andrea, and Andrea still not giving up on TY here. He's trying to stick with that BMW as Stevie's trying to stick with Neil up front, but Neil doing a very good job to hold him off here. But again, you've still got half a lap to go, Neil. It's not over yet as we go into the corner at the bottom of the hill. Turn, brake, power, all with front wheel drive. The back end wanting to dance round and slide, but we're not letting it. As we go up to the chicane for the last time. TY still ahead of Andrea, by the way, further back. As we look at Neil then, up to the chicane. Goes in a little bit deep and a little bit slower out the corner. Stevie gets a good run. This is going to be a close battle down the hill. Neil just trying to fend Stevie off here, trying to block him from going one way, stop him from going the other. Stevie's going to have a dive up the inside into the last corner. Is he going to overshoot? Oh, he's just about done it. Neil's up the inside. Oh, hip and shoulder. Bang, bang, bang. Have that. But Stevie's in the lead. Stevie in the lead with a bit of a robust move on the last corner, but gets in the lead and he's going to take the win here. But is he slowing up? And Neil just gets him on the line. Oh, close race at the end. Stevie slows up. He must have got a penalty or something, so just thought, right, let's let Neil cross the line first. But very strange finish there as TY just gets Andrea on the line as well. Well done to TY, 3rd place. Andrea 4th, Bidzster in 5th. 6th place for Spapper. Easy finishes in 6th. Blakeney back down into 7th place. Callum in 8th from Keith in 9th. So Callum goes backwards on the last lap as well. And then we've got Keith in 9th. Growley's going to finish in 10th after a bit of a ding-dong battle as well. And Stacker, again, unfortunately, in 11th place, not having much luck in Project Cars, but it didn't help himself with causing that incident on the first lap. So, well done to Stacker, 11th place. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that end. So Neil Farmack wins that one. Well done to Neil Farmack, just on the line from Stevie, but Stevie had a 1 second penalty anyway for track limits, that's why I let him go. TY gets 3rd, Andrea comes home in 4th as we go over the page. Bidzster gets 5th place in the end, Spapper finishes in 6th, Blakeney 7th, 8th goes to Callum, 9th for Keith, 10th for Growley, and then it is 11th for Stacker in the BMW. And here's your championship points after that round then. So it's Bidzster in the lead on 364, and it's TY on 287, Stevie on 276, and then Spappo would be on 251, that's just a typo there, and then Andrea on 219. Teams championship, it is Growley and Stevie in the lead on 436 with a dominant lead over Neil and Keith on 360, Footman and Blake on 274, and Callum and Azadar on 193. So after we come back from those results and points, there's your winner in that green Megane at the front. Neil Farmack wins that race. Well done to Neil, and we'll see you guys next time in modern stock cars for a race around Indianapolis Oval and Watkins Glen Short. So we'll see you guys for round 6. Take care, guys.